Outrage in the NFL. There's always outrage somewhere. There's always somebody that's offended about something. Harrison Butker, kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Well, he was at a Catholic academy, had a speech there, and he was talking about, being a devout Christian Catholic and how he believes that fulfillment for women should be not in their careers, but being more, wives and mothers and homemakers, and making sure that the family unit is good and prospering and fruitful. That's what he believes a fulfilling life for a woman is. And video got out, and there's outrage. People want to cancel this man. They're talking about they've opened up GoFundMe's to try to get the Chiefs to cut him. The NFL has come out and said that they don't align with whatever views he has. And everybody can be able to feel the way they want to feel, and that's fine, right? If you want to go ahead and cancel Harrison Butker, if you want to go say that he's a misogynist, you want to go say that he's a Neanderthal, that he hits his wife over the head with a hammer or a club and drags her back into the cave, whatever the fuck you want to say. Here's the problem that I have, right? What he said was through his anecdotal experience. This is a man that probably was raised in that particular type of family structure and unit. This is a man that when he grew up and said, I'd like that same family structure and family unit that I was raised on, because I saw that it worked. My parents were happy. We were well taken care of. Everything was fine. So I want that for my own family. He provides and gets that for his own family. Fine. He's now telling people, hey, this is an option that I feel works. So if you want to go ahead and pursue that, I believe that this is a fulfilling life, because I myself have experienced it, watching my mother, watching my wife experience that. I haven't seen a problem. So I think that other people can be able to explore this particular option. He said this in a setting that I'm sure about 80 to 95% of the people agreed with what he said. This is not something that he said after a game-winning kick in the NFL and he takes to the podium and says this. This is not something that he said in a pre-game press conference. This is not anything that he got caught on video saying at practice. This is something that he said in a setting that is appropriate for this type of mindset. And a lot of people think that way. We live in a society nowadays, Silent Assassin, where if somebody disagrees with you, they automatically want to cancel you. They automatically look at you as you are the dumbest person in the world. I see things, oh, that's the dumbest take I've ever seen. L take, oh, that's stupid. You can just disagree. If you don't like what he said, then just say, I don't like what he said, and move the fuck on. If somebody you date, you're on a date with somebody, and the person says, yeah, I'd like my woman to stay home. I don't really like her to work and all this stuff. I want her to be able to hold things down at home. And you don't like that, then you know you have a choice to make. You can either keep pursuing this particular relationship, or you can sever ties and never speak to this person again. But what the wrong thing to do is tell this person that he's full of shit and you want to make sure and make his life a living hell. Why? It's his views. He's not trying to offend anybody. This is how he looks at things. We have to stop ostracizing people for their opinions. It's an opinion. You can either agree with somebody or disagree. I don't necessarily have to look at you as a bad person. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely even just like the topic of religion obviously is a big factor in the whole world's
Right.
fighting and whatnot.
Yes.
So, I definitely am not on his side of his form of thinking, but you have to respect that he comes from, the Bible and what it says in there, what a woman's supposed to be, and he's not going out there forcing anyone. He's just sharing his ideas and
Right.
thoughts. This might be something that you might be interested in.
Exactly.
But I'm not out here commenting on everything, saying this man should go die, whatever.
Exactly.
It's what it is.
Simple and plain. That's all it is. He is not in a position to influence any rule changes, any laws to be able to force people to do things beyond their will. This is his opinion. I'm telling you, I am sick of this cancel culture. I think cancel culture is probably the worst part of our society. It's run by a bunch of dweebs and losers and people that have been picked last in sports. Like, I truly believe that what happened in our culture, Silent Assassin, is that the people that were insecure and didn't have many friends and always had a problem with things and were super offended about everything that you said to them, you can tell them and ask them, how is your day going? And they will look at you like you have 9 heads. Those people 20, 30 years ago had children. And they downloaded their bullshit and their insecurities onto those children. Telling those kids, it's all right, little Jimmy. You can be able to finish 15th place. You're just as good as the kid that finished first. You deserve the same trophy. And little Jimmy grows up and says, you know what? You're right. I can be able to be mediocre my entire life and still ask for the best. Because I am just as good as that person without working as hard. I don't need to know how to hit a baseball correctly because my mom told me that I don't need to. I can just will myself to be the best. We don't need scoreboards at Pee-wee games anymore because we don't want to be offended with the wins and losses or the scores. There's winners and there's losers in life. And what happened in this alternate universe that we stepped in is that it's such a bad thing to be different. It's a bad thing to be a winner. It's a bad thing to be a loser. It's a bad thing to have adversity and be different. We can't have our opinion about things. If you don't agree with somebody, if I don't have the same views as you do, then I'm a bad person. If I don't think that James Harden is the greatest thing since sliced bread, if I think that he's a failure in the NBA because of being the number one guy that never did anything, and I have people telling me how stupid of a take that is because he's made so much money in his life. Just agree to disagree. This is where we need to stop. Harrison Butker is not a bad guy. Harrison Butker is not telling you that you need to knock your wife over the head with a club and force her to do things beyond her will. He's just telling you, hey, it worked for me. Maybe if you give it a try, it may work for you. And if you don't want to do it, that's okay too.